put $2 into Yo, Justin. Oh, all right. I remember putting $2 into my Weibo account, and I remember making like 2 cents. I just remember putting $2 into my Weibo account and making like 2 cents, and like it was the most, I guess you could say, euphoric moment of my life because I was like, damn, I really just made 2 cents off of my phone. So then I was like, you know, the bright idea that anybody gets as a beginner trader, I was like, well, if I put 500 in there, am I gonna make like a couple hundred? So I put $500 in there, and I just remember blowing all that shit the same day. I was like, so then at this point, I really was trying to learn the skill of like, actually, I didn't know, like in the beginning, I really didn't know what I was chasing for. Like, I really didn't have a goal. I just knew like, I gotta get my mom out of the situation she is. So like, the best thing I can think of is trying to make some money from this trading stuff. So in the beginning, I was super greedy. I was chasing anything and everything. I remember looking at Twitter and seeing people call out plays and stuff, and I would just be like full margining that shit, and that just never worked out. So then eventually, I started trying to actually learn the skill of it, like learn the craft of how to look at the markets. But it wasn't nothing at like what I do now. It was more in the sense like, what are at least the terminologies? And I just remember doing this for like hours on end, like pretty much anybody else. Like I thought the more time you looked at a chart, the better you would get. But it's really like down to like the trades that you get into, how many trades that you get into. And this doesn't mean trade every single day, but it's just about like what position that you're gonna put yourself in when it comes to trading. Like if you get in one position this week, how did that position play out? Was it good? Was it bad? What can you take from it, learn from it, and sharpen that blade so you can become better and better every day. And I didn't have this mindset at the beginning. It was more of like, all right, how much money can I make off this trade? And I remember thinking this way for a couple of weeks, almost 2 months in. And I remember putting like $900 into an account. I saved up that $900 for like 2-3 weeks, bro, for my job. I was paying for bills with my mom, and then I was also saving up capital like to make this trading shit work. And I just remember putting it all into an account, and at 9:30 I was like, all right, I'm gonna just put my whole 900 on this because I think the market is gonna go up. And I just remember at 9:30, I placed the trade. The trade went through by 9:31. By 9:35, I lost pretty much everything I had.
Damn.
And I was like, fuck. I just lost $900 that I saved up for weeks. And I could have used that for something else. And me and my mom always argued about my trading too, because she always thought it was like gambling. She always thought it was a waste of time. And like my situation, I didn't graduate. I didn't have a diploma or anything, so my mom was definitely beating down on me, telling me like, yeah, you need to like actually do something. And I just remember all this coming full circle at that moment of losing that $900, and I just was like, I gotta actually learn what I'm doing. Like I feel like I'm just chasing money at this point. I need to actually learn the skill, because if I actually learn the skill, I actually can make some money from it. I can actually get somewhere with it. So then I just started focusing on like, what am I doing wrong? How to find the trends, how to find the positions that I can get into where I can be able to make some type of profit in the long run, because either way it goes, I'm gonna be in the right position. So eventually I started doing this, and it was a rough little ride, because psychology wise, it's hard to really trust the trade or like trust the process or even trust the like time frames that you're looking at. It's really hard to do that, but you really like, and I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be, you're not really gonna understand it now, but you're gonna understand it like a couple weeks from now, a couple days from now, a couple months from now. But whenever you're marking up the charts, or whenever you're looking at the charts, higher time frames, I always tell people to stay off the lower time frames, but when you're looking at the time frames, when you're putting everything together, you have to remember that everything is gonna trend in the market. The market is gonna trend in some type of way. So regardless of what you feel like in that moment, you have to think long term of what you're looking at. So like, let's say if you're looking at gold, for example, a couple months ago. Like if you would have looked at gold and it was building bullish structure, you would have never thought it would be here where it's at now today. You was only probably thinking for that one day. You was like, oh, it's just gonna buy for this day. But you have to switch your mindset from like, okay, I'm looking for a price to do this for this day, and change it to, okay, I see the market's heading in this direction long term, or I see it heading in this direction for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. And I guess you can say it gets rid of the fear on a day-to-day basis. Because on a day-to-day basis, when you're trading, you're probably thinking like, oh, what is the market gonna do for this day? And you're kind of scared, it's moving up and down, it's probably wicking you out, you're getting stopped out constantly. But the minute that you remove that and say, all right, let me see how this trade plays out for the next 2 days. Let's see if it actually goes in my direction for the next 2 days or 3 days. It kind of removes all your fear from the actual trade in general, because you are willing to let it have a process. You're letting it process through, and you're letting things play out. Once you let things play out, it's pretty much going to give you the advantage over anything and everything. So I come to say all this because I ended up, building my account from 3K to 100K, and then to my first 6 figures, 7 figures. And then I remember doing my taxes that year, and I didn't know anything about taxes. I remember doing my taxes this year with some guy, bro, and he scammed me for like 400K. And I couldn't do anything about it because I didn't know what the fuck to do. But I just remember all this, and I remember SPY crashing in December 2022. It was at 400, it was like $401. And the crash happened, and it went all the way back down to like, I think it was right around like 324. And it was like all of a time span of like 2 months. And I remember switching over from trading penny stocks to trading Forex. But when I started trading Forex, I was pretty much trading like EU, GJ, and all that. And I just really didn't find like the actual like rhythm of it. Like I was making some money, but not like what I wanted to make. So then somebody told me that I could trade SPY and NQ, and I was like, wait, word? Because like I only knew stocks at the time, so I'm learning all of this. Some of you guys probably know pretty much everything now, but at the time as a beginner, you don't really know much. You're just doing stuff at that point. And somebody told me that you can trade NQ, and I was like, okay, let me do that because I've been trading in the stock market. I understand it. And what Forex allows you to do, or what CFDs allow you to do, is to buy and sell it. So it was like way better, and I didn't want to go back to options either because it's like mad riskier. So I was just like, all right, let me do this. And I ended up trading NQ, and here we are today to this point, where I've been trading for 4 years, and I switched over to gold. And I would say I don't trade NQ now, but I've traded it for 3 years, and I definitely say that I'm pretty good at it. But switching over to gold has definitely changed my perspective a lot, because it does have a lot more price action than NQ does. And currently with the whole Trump situation and manipulation, I prefer to stay away from it and trade gold or trade crypto. Crypto is something I've recently just got into after hating on it for so long. I hated on it for so long. But it has a lot of liquidity in there. You can make a lot of money from it too. But this doesn't go to say like, oh, only trade those things for the money. But I'm saying it has a lot of liquidity in it for you to be able to trade. You have to, so basically what I'm trying to say is, it's not wrong to trade Forex pairs, of course, but if you want to get the best out of your trades, trade something that is going to be moving on a constant daily basis. With a Forex pair, I understand there's some moves on the smaller time frames, but you're not going to wake up one day and, the pound is like 10 times more than the USD. That's not going to happen. Like, Forex is going to fluctuate with the economy, but it's going to be at a slower rate than something that people are investing millions of dollars into every day. Something like stocks. People are constantly buying stocks, billions of dollars in orders. Crypto, people are putting billions of dollars in orders, so it's constantly fluctuating on the sell side and the buy side. So always find something that is going to bring you consistent liquidity into the market, so that way you can trade on these week-to-week basis, day-to-day basis. I wouldn't recommend day-to-day, but week-to-week basis, and you can profit off of that because it's constantly fluctuating. And I started this whole ICC thing, and once again, for anybody in the room, like, ICC is just price action and market structure. I don't know why I've been seeing TikTok, and they're saying like it's smart money concepts, break and retest. The whole break and retest is so dumb to me, because it's like, it's not a break and retest, because there's times where a price can break past the level that you're supposed to retest, and then you can get wiped out. It's the whole thing, but ICC is just price action and market structure. I just you know, like I personally trade price action market structure, but I was like, if I was to explain it to somebody, how would I explain it? That's basically what ICC is. How would I explain it to someone else? Because what I was told from a life mentor of mine, he was like, if you can't explain something to somebody in less than 5 minutes, you don't know what you're talking about, or even less. And I feel like now, I wouldn't say I'm the best trader at all. There's definitely way better traders than I am.
But you're really good. You're really good.
Yeah, there's way better traders than I am. But I would definitely say I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to market structure and price action. And I just always wanted to like become good at something, and this full circles back to my overall life. Like, I knew I wasn't good at something, but when I was a kid, I wish somebody would at least help me become good at something. Whether it was sports or music or something, but nobody would be, you know, like, everybody has an ego. So coming to this full circle moment now, it's just like, when I push this out, it's not just like, oh, I'm just trying to teach you how to trade. Because if you really watch my videos, I like talking about psychology. Because everything you go through, every decision you make is based off the mindset that you have, the psychology that you have. So everything you do it for a reason because of what your past experience are. Whatever your mindset is now, it's only because of where you was born from, where you grew up in, what you've been through, the things that you've seen. That's why you have the mindset that you have now. So I always tell people that before you try to even get on the charts and make some type of play or make some type of trading financial decision, you have to get your mind right. Because I remember that day I lost $900, it just wiped the whole like greed out of me. Like I was like, I need to stop chasing the money aspect of it. Even though I'm broke, I need to stop chasing it because I'm just getting more broke. It was like, so it was just like a full circle moment where I was like, all right, I need to actually understand what I'm doing and why am I doing this. And for me, my situations or my problems in the beginning was definitely my greed. And that's only because my mom was going through a situation that I wanted to get her out of. But I knew that if I took my time to actually learn the skill, it'll be faster that if I learn the skill first, and then it will end up paying me long term. So it really changed my mind when I just overall stopped chasing the money aspect of it, or trying to be the best in the beginning and changing like how I thought about approaching the markets. Because once you change it, everything is going to become clear. The best thing I can say is that when you have a clear mind, you can think more. You're like, how do I put it? Okay, so majority of the people probably work on a day-to-day basis and they also trade on the side, right? Do you ever feel like when you are going to work and then you have to come back home and trade and it feels like you're kind of like, you don't get enough time to trade or you don't get enough time to study and it's like everything feels crammed, right? That's how it's going to feel in the beginning. I worked 2 jobs at the time of trading, and I worked in the daytime and the nighttime. From 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on the one warehouse job that was 12-hour shift. And then I went to Walmart from 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. all the way to 3 a.m. And I was trying to fit trading into that. And I was doing the best I could, like, even though I would recommend not doing it, trying to do all this at one time, I would recommend, if you're gonna start trading, try to free up some time so you can have clarity, so you can have I guess you could say a clear mind, right? You need to be able to process what you're doing and process the thoughts that you're having and the reason why you're having it. You see things on the chart. We all see things differently on the charts for a reason. Once again, it goes back to the way that you think about things, right? We might see support and resistance differently. We might see highs and lows differently, but that's only because of our mindsets are different. So once you start clearing your mind, everything kind of comes like full circle to the actual fundamental of what it actually is. Because me personally, I always think like when it comes to highs and lows, there's no like, it's a high and a low. There's no other definition for it, if that makes sense. So when it came to all this, I just really wanted to say that I'm really happy that we built something this crazy, and it's still building. Even though I'm taking a little break for a little bit, it's still building day by day. And everybody in LA right now, we're all out here, and we just gotta pat ourselves on the back because you're not gonna see it now. You might not feel it now, but like in the next year, the next 2 years, you're gonna be like, dang, like I remember going to this, and I remember him talking, and now I'm like where I want to be too. And that's like my whole goal about this. Like, at the time that I was pretty much trading and getting into trading, I didn't have any goals for myself because like I've been through so much shit in my life where I really didn't have any like high hopes for my own self. And I just remember getting to this point, and I still like it still amazes me to this day. I'm still trying to get accustomed to the life that I live now. I just, bro, I remember going to where did I go? I went to Four Seasons. The lady was like, "Yeah, you need to. You want us to fold your sheets? You want us to fold your socks?" I was like, "Oh." It was just like it's crazy to think now because the best I can say is like I come into this room not to be like the all-star, but I want to at least spread some hope to somebody else because I just remember that's all I needed when. Oh, bro, I'm gonna fucking cry. I just remember that's all I fucking needed. I just remember like I just wish somebody had some hope in me. Like I wasn't good at anything, but it was like I had to like have some hope in somebody. That somebody would help me in my situation. I'm not even like, I never asked for money from people. Like, I was always that guy that was like, all right, if I'm fucking dead broken, I gotta sleep outside. It is what it is. Like, this is the situation I have to go through, so I have to deal with it because everything you go through is for a reason. And you have to deal with it. Like, sometimes shit happens, life happens. Like, it might not even be your fault, but shit happens. But the reason why it happens is because it's meant for you to go through it and learn from it. Everything I went through, I never look back and be like, oh, I hate her, or I hate them because they didn't do this for me or do that. I'm like, I'm glad you made me go through that because now I'm stronger. So everything you go through, you gotta remember it's not because like the world hates you, it's because you have to go through that to become the best version of yourself. It's really up to you. Like I was told, or something I actually learned, the best way to become successful, and it's not like guaranteed, but the best way to become successful is the way that you react to things. Like your reaction to things will always determine everything. I'm gonna put it in perspective, right? Let's say you get into a car crash, God forbid. Let's say you get into a car crash. Most people will freak out. They'll get out the car, start screaming, get mad, get upset. But what is that gonna solve?
Nothing.
What is that gonna solve? You're gonna get mad for what? You're wasting energy. You're wasting all that anger for what? You get out the car. Okay, the car is obviously crashed. It's not like you can fucking rewind and like uncrash the car.
Right.
So why are you gonna get mad about that, right? So you have to deal with it. Okay, all right, I see my car's crashed. Let me call the police. Let me call the insurance company. We'll get it settled. It is what it is, right? Same way with life. You go through some shit in life. All right, I'm in this situation. How can I get out of it? What can I do to get myself out of the situation I'm in? What can I do to get a better outcome of what the situation I'm in? And that's just always the way that I thought. And pretty much my whole story shows that, like, at the moment of being homeless, it was like, I don't like this. What can I do to get myself out of this situation? What was the best bet that I could put on myself to get myself out of this situation? When it came to trading, after losing that 900, it was like, I'm obviously ass at trading. What can I do to become better and make my situation way better than what it is? So when it comes to things, it's not about what you can do, it's like how you react to it. Like if you can react to it in a positive way and see the greater good out of it, I think you'll get pretty much farther than anybody that kind of thinks that they can just keep full sending it every single time. So just always have hope in yourself, and I'm here to spread hope and spread the simplicity of trading because I don't think trading should be as hard as people portray it to be. And people are always going to fight me about it, but I just always feel like it's super simple. Super simple because think about it, like even with life, right? Everything is simple steps, but it's covered up in disguise. Like we could talk about this all day, but everything in life, people will cover up and disguise something that's a 1, 2, 3 step process and make it seem like it's 7 steps. Right? When it comes to anything you do in life, think about how you do it. Like if you make a sandwich, right? It's 1, 2, 3, sandwich is done. And it comes with pretty much anything else. If you have to go to the store, right? You drive to the store, get your groceries, check out, and you got groceries. It's like super simple when it comes to things. It's like, I think people overcomplicate it just to drive you into this pit of like feeling like you can't do it. And then you start paying for shit and you're trying to figure a way out when the whole time the way out is in front of you right there in your face, but you're just overlooking it because he says he has this or she says she has that or he's showing you this or he's showing you that. And it comes back to everything. Like I try my best to provide as much as possible for everybody in this room. Even if I don't know everybody's name in here, I definitely should have a lot of love for everybody in here because I definitely remember me starting trading and I wanted something like this too. So we're gonna do that one. I have a couple things I wanted to talk about. I have to write it down because I'm bad with. Normally I go off the top, but hey man, I have to make sure every aspect is hit. Let's see what we have here. Let's talk about first and foremost. I'm gonna just hit a bunch of trading questions I've been asked a lot. No, you're good. Risk management, for example, is one question I get asked a lot. So when it comes to me, and this is like everything I say in this room is something I do, is what I do. If you want to take, notes of it or whatever you can, but I'm not telling you to do anything. I will never tell you to hey, this is the best way to do it, or this is the way you need to do it. I'm just gonna tell you what I do. So when it comes to risk management, something I've seen that worked for me was I personally risk 10%. And the reason why I risk 10% because over the course of time, I stopped trading more and more. Because in the beginning, as a beginner trader, you trade more on the volume end, so you're constantly placing trades on a day-to-day basis. Maybe 5 trades, maybe 10 trades, but me personally, I probably maybe 2 to 3 trades a week. And with this, I'm able to put myself in a position where I can scale from that trade. That's my idea when I go into a trade. Before I hop on the charts, it's all right, if I'm gonna get into this trade, is this trade gonna go for a long period of time? So is it gonna go for the next 2 days, next 3 days, next week? How do I feel about the trade? So first is, how do you feel about this trade? Is this trade gonna be a bigger term trade, a long term trade? What is this trade gonna be? And when I do this, then I'll approach the market okay, what am I gonna risk per trade? Or what am I gonna risk this trade? And normally I like to risk the 10% and I look for a 1 to 4 or a 1 to 3. Sometimes you can get more 1 to 3s than 1 to 4s, but 1 to 3, 1 to 4 is good. And the reason why I say it's good is because if you think about it, if you lose one trade, you still have 3 more trades to go, and any one of those profit, you'll be back in profit. People that risk the 1 to 1, I don't hate on it, but if you lose one trade, you got to make 2 trades to make it back in profit, But if you do a 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, if you lose one trade, that's okay. There should be no reason why you're losing 4 trades back to back to back. Now I know we're all beginners, but if you're losing 4 trades back to back, you need to honestly critique yourself a little bit harder. Because something you're doing is not right, obviously, right? You should be able to tell if something's wrong in those 4 trades or in those 3 trades. And you should be analyzing, all right, what am I doing wrong? Most people, I would say the most people will probably have a problem with is the higher time frames. People have higher time frame problems because they don't trust in the process, or they don't trust in the trade, or they don't kind of see it as well as they do. They feel like the lower time frames kind of give candles and more information faster, so that they feel like it's way better. But the moment you switch to higher time frames, it's going to clear up pretty much everything. It's going to clear up all the noise on the smaller time frames. It's going to clear up pretty much anything you probably even doubt too, because there will be moments where you're in a trade and the 1 hour candle might look like it's rejecting, but if you give it another hour, it might come back down in your direction, or it might go up in your direction. So it really comes down to patience. So this whole 10%, 1 to 4 risk to reward, all this came down to patience at the end of the day, because even though I'm risking so high, what people would say, I know that if I'm risking for a 1 to 3 or a 1 to 4, I know I'm gonna come out with at least 30%, 40%. And it's not me being greedy, it's just me seeing okay, the higher time frame is key. If I'm basing my trade off the higher time frame, the probability of me being successful in this trade is gonna be way higher.
Yo, y'all gotta shut the fuck up.
Oh shit. Respect that. I respect that. I respect that. Alright, so when it comes to the risk to reward standpoint, never think of it as how much money you're risking. Always think about alright, if price hits my stop level, that just means my trade is invalid. That means I'm wrong. So think about your trades as alright, I'm wrong on the setup, not oh, I'm gonna lose this money. Obviously have proper risk management where you don't blow your whole account. But when you get into a trade, don't think if price is coming approaching your stop loss, don't be like, dang,
I done did
I'm
that
losing
too many
money.
times.
Be like, I lost this setup. Why didn't I see the setup the way I did? Or why did I see the setup the way I did? And then change your aspect of how you think about that. And then focus like, all right, what can I do next time to avoid this situation? Because once again, the higher time frame is always going to show you the overall of what the market is going to do. So if you focus on that, you pretty much can see, like I'm not going to say you're 100%, but you can see what price is going to do before it does it. So when it comes to risk management, make sure 1 to 4, 1 to 3, 10%. And when you do this, let's say you start off like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but these $500 accounts, $100 accounts, yeah, I gotta stop doing that. And the reason why I say this is because I remember trying to do it. And there's people that can get away with it. There's people that come out on profit of turning $100 to $1,000 or $500 to a couple thousands, but it's risky. Like it's way riskier because you only have so much. There's a little bit you can get away with. Like if you have a $500 account, you can maybe risk $50 per trade. How I like to do it is like, let's say I have a $1,000 account. I like to do it by how many trades does it take to blow my account. And I like to do it this way because then I know I'll be risking that 10%. So I normally say, all right, I'm gonna have 10 trades, I'm gonna set 10 trades for myself. And if I lose all 10 trades, that just means I blow my whole account. But realistically, if you're trading on the higher time frame, you're trading price action market structure, there's no way you should be losing 10 trades in a row. And if you're looking for 1 to 3, 1 to 4, your one trade should add on 4 more trades. So if you have a $1,000 account, for example, and you risk $100 per trade, 1 to 3 setup. If you lose one, you're down to 900, right? But if you hit the next one, you're what, at 1100. So now you're back in profit. No, 1200. You're back at 1200. And then if you win the next one, you're consistently scaling up from there. And as you scale up, notice how the numbers will get bigger. Because you'll have like a 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, you're risking $100, you're making $300 per trade. I don't know about none of y'all, but if you make $300 in one day, you're pretty much making some bread. Like, don't get in the delusion. And I know, looking at my Instagram, and it's probably like, oh, bro, like I can get to that level too, or whatever. But you have to like think small first. Like, don't think small, but like achieve the small goals first. Because when you start getting up, climbing up, you will appreciate it more. Because there's some people that want to go from a $1,000 account to 10,000 by the end of the week. And they haven't even seen those consistent 100 days yet, $100 days, $200 days. So then when they start seeing these days where they're down $1,000, $2,000, because they have a $10,000 account that they have no emotion over, you lose that way faster. But once you build yourself up, you appreciate the small gains, you appreciate the small rewards, and you also take in the losses pretty effectively, right? If you're only risking 10% on 1,000, all right, I lost $100 today. I know the next day I could possibly make 300, right? I know if the next setup I get in, I could possibly make 300. So let me not stress about that. You shouldn't be stressing about any trade you get in because your risk management should be, what's the word? You gotta remember, like, you can't get affected by the losses because once again, you trade price action and market structure. You trade pretty simple. You trade the higher time frames. You should trust in whatever you're doing. As long as it's not complicated and you're able to fix it, if you do something wrong, you're pretty much set, right? So when it comes to this, risk management, I personally say is pretty much the easiest one, right? What's next? What do y'all want to talk about?
Entry.
Entries. Entries is easy, though.
Breakouts. Let's talk about breakouts.
Listen. I personally wouldn't. She was like, do you double down on your trades? So like, if you're in profit, do you put more entries?
Nah.
I wouldn't recommend. The only reason I wouldn't recommend, because when you go into a trade, this is going to answer your question too as well. Whenever you're entering a trade, your entry should only come from a swing high or a swing low being broken. So if you go back and look at all my entries on Instagram, like when I show before and after, all my entries will come from a breakage of a swing high or a swing low. Now, some people always tell me like, oh, that's not ICC or whatever the case might be. But ICC is, once again, market structure and price action. If price on a higher time frame is breaking a swing low, that means it's bearish. If it's breaking a swing high, it's bullish in whatever case. So if it's bearish, it's always targeting lows. It's always targeting the next swing low. And if it's bullish, it's always targeting the next swing high. So if you have that in your head, that pretty much solves pretty much all your problems, because you already have what ICC does. And once again, it's price action and market structure. What ICC does is it provides you the indication. The indication is already showing you at this level is breaking out, so that's your entry point. The level that is breaking out, that will be your primary entry point. And then it will indicate you of where it's going to go from that point. So it's going to show you your entry, and it's going to show you where your TP needs to be. All the correction is doing is correcting the market, so then you can get your next entry, but it's also providing you with your stop loss. Because once the correction is over, that's essentially where you're going to put your stop loss. So pretty much ICC solves up where am I going to enter? Where's my TP? Where's my stop loss going to be? That's how I wanted it to be designed. I wanted it to be this way because then you don't have any questions of like, oh, where should I enter? It should be like breakage of whatever the swing high is, whatever the swing low is. And to finish your question, I wouldn't add on more because there's sometimes like, you don't want to put yourself in a trade where price is like fluctuating in the middle of it. So if you already got your entry and price is already in profit, you don't know if price is going to make some type of correction, or it could even go more, it could be in profit, but you never know if price is going to have like a minor correction, and you don't want to put yourself in a mindset where like you have one trade in blue and then this one's in drawdown, and you're like, damn, like this one's eating my profits on this one, close. It's like a whole thing. So you just keep one position, hold it to TP, and then make a decision if you're going to hold that trade more or not, and then go into the next trade. If price makes another like ICC setup, and you're still in the previous trade, then you can add on, but I wouldn't add on in the midst of an active trade already. So wait, just scream out what y'all want to talk about. I'm going to talk about
Correction. Retest.
liquidity. That's the goal, man.
Spread.
Are you only looking to take liquidity to where the higher time frame is going? And when you start to grab liquidity to where the market's going to balance here, it's to go back to the higher time frame.
Give him the mic.
I personally don't look at liquidity like probably like the smart money traders do, but my corrections, I look at that as liquidity being grabbed. Most of the time, I just focus on like once the correction is happening. I think when the correction is happening, so indication, the correction is grabbing out all the people that bought in on the breakout and sold on the breakout. It's taking them out of the markets. And it's also making other traders that are waking up on a day-to-day basis, they get on the charts and they see that the candle's going down and the candle's going up. They're going to be like, oh, today's this day. Today's going to be a sell day. And then they end up getting wiped out. So that's how I look at liquidity. I look at this on the... Oh, do I trade the correction? There's sometimes where you'll see me probably like, let's say the 4 hours on a trend, and the 1 hour is correcting. Sometimes you can utilize it, but it's very risky. I always tell people, if you're going to do something against the rules, just be okay with the risk. There's sometimes when you could make a play, but it's not recommended to do so. But I wouldn't trade the correction, I would just stick to the overall trend. Putting yourself in a position where you can then scale from that trade. I personally don't believe in break even, and people are fighting about it because like break even doesn't tell me if my trade is invalid. How I look at stop loss is like, if I get stopped out, that means the trend is invalid. What I'm looking for is invalid. If I put it in break even and then get stopped out in break even, that doesn't tell me anything. It just tells me like, I just got stopped out, but the trend can keep going back up. Because I've heard countless stories of like people saying like, oh, every time I put my stop loss at profit, it takes me out and keeps going. I've heard that story like 1,000 times. And I would always just keep it in the area where like, if it's invalidated, that means the trend is over or the trend is reversing. But yeah, when it comes to that. On my TradeZilla, it says 300, but that's like positions. I would say I took 45 trades this year. 45 trades out of 250 days. Yeah. That's not here.
First of all, thank you so much for studying behind the Thank you, really, from my heart. Thank you. Second, my question is like sometimes we see internal structure and external structure. So then when the indication comes, the indication is better when it breaks the external market structure. But sometimes we need the internal structure, you know, like a 15 minute or 1 hour, something like that. It breaks, doesn't it? Right? But you just break it down to work, breaking the peak range for 4 hours.
Boy, that sounds confusing too.
Like 4 hours, there's a big range.
Yeah.
And then the 1 hour is like smaller. So the indication comes when it breaks the 4 hours or when it breaks the...
It depends. If the 4 hours in a range, you have to wait till the 4 hour breaks. Because the 4 hours is essentially higher than the 1 hour. So you can't go based off what the 1 hour is doing. So if price is consolidating on the 4 hour, you have to respect that because that's what's overall price is fluctuating in between the 4 hour, not the 1 hour. The 1 hour is obviously going to have some type of movement because it has to move, right? To make up the 4 hours. So always like when one's doing, and let's say if you're looking at the 4 hour and it's showing an uptrend, you have to respect that, right? Or if the 1 hour is showing a downtrend, but the 4 hour is doing something different, you have to respect the 4 hours, right? Everything has to align. That's when it comes even down to entries again. You have to make sure everything aligns. So if you're looking for a price to be bullish, for example, the correction is obviously going to be bearish, right? When price is correcting on the 4 hour, 1 hour time frame, it's going to be bearish. You have to wait till every time frame starts aligning with each other again. So the 15 minutes is going to have to align, the 1 hour is going to have to align. And once those two align and it comes back above the initial breakout area, that's your move to go. And then also that volume coming in from New York, because I trade gold, but that volume coming in from New York is always going to push it.
Great answer, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
What was your aha moment for trade? Like what made you think like ICC work?
Yes.
Yeah.
From 3,000 to the 100. How did it go?
I think my aha moment was pretty much when I kept it simple. It was pretty much the pivotal point for me because I was able to see the trend for what it is and not what I thought. I think that's one of the biggest things for me too as well. Like I'm always big on like, all right, what is the market showing me it wants to do? Which is why we have the highs and the lows because those are going to show you like if price is breaking the swing highs, obviously showing you like there's more buyers in the market than there are sellers, right? And vice versa. So I always stuck to what is the market showing me? And once I actually started letting the market play out for what it's showing, I was like, oh, this is not as bad as I thought. Because like as a beginner trader, you want prices, you like self-consciously, you're thinking in your head, like you're marking up the chart, and you're like, okay, I think it's going to sell today, or I think it's going to sell this week. But the market might show something different later on in the week, and you still have this mindset like, I want the market to sell because that's what I see, right? But it's really like, all right, what is the market going to show you, and then you capitalize off of that. But yeah, you got to stop making doing what you want to do because it's not going to do so, right? Yeah.
How come you captured it? Like, so you think that
Because the price is that trade was so annoying. I entered the trade again because it made another lower high, and I just believed in that lower high. Once again, like I trade ICC of course, but once again, price action is never going to allow in that higher time frame. So once price made another lower high, before it even broke the support, I was like, all right, this lower high is showing me that it doesn't want to go up anywhere past that level. So I pretty much entered there and then kept my stop loss above that lower high. And just prayed for that, not even prayed, but I was hoping for that price to end up making that lower low. Because you gotta remember, if you're trading the trend, if you're trading the trend, essentially what you're doing is basically with the indication, we're gonna do a uptrend for example. The indication is the higher high. Price is gonna make a higher low. Once price makes a higher low, that's the correction. So the continuation is essentially going to try to make that next higher high. Because the trend is constantly making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And that goes back to the aha moment. Once you start thinking about it this way, you kind of trust it more. Like if price is on an uptrend and you're in a buy, you're just essentially looking forward to make a new higher high. And then you're able to get out the trade and then look for the next setup. So if you just trust like, all right, price is made its higher high, made its higher low, I'm already in the trade, I'm looking forward to make that next higher high, then you should be thinking in your head, as long as it doesn't break the higher low, I'm good in the trade, I'm calm, right? Because the moment it breaks the higher low, that means the trend is different, right? That means the trend is reversed. But if you're in the trade, price has already made its higher low and it's pushing up, you should be looking like in your head, like, okay, it should be making that higher high. I don't know when, but I'm gonna wait for it to make that higher high. If it doesn't, it's gonna break this higher low, and then that's when I'm gonna get out. So it's either gonna do one of the two, break the higher low or break the new higher high. In between, there's no in between, it's trading. And if it's consolidating, you obviously know not to trade that. So most of the time, this price is gonna trend on the higher time frame, unless you have moments like now when we're coming to the end of the year, and price is kind of choppy or whatever, but that's cool, that's just the end of the year, right? What I want to get into is a little bit more about discipline too as well. When it comes to discipline, I didn't bring it today. Wow. I didn't bring it today, but I have like this brick thing. It's like a little block that I use for my trades. A lot of people tell me, like, how do I not like get into trades on certain days, or like how do I protect myself from like trading every day? I have like this brick thing. I don't have it now, but basically what it does, there's different brands and different companies that you can get it from. But basically what it does, when I tap my phone on it, it locks pretty much all my trading. It locks my trading view, my MT5, my liquid trade, it locks everything. So I can't see anything on the trading side. And I think this works for me because I used to be a bad person when it came to over trading. I used to be in the habit of like, oh shit, I know what I'm doing, let me just keep trading. Like, especially like in the beginning, once I started learning more about price action and understanding it more and like trial and error through the charts, I was like, I think I know what I'm doing. So now I can just trade anything and everything, but that's never the case. Because, you know, time frames do exist. So as long as I stayed on the higher time frame, I pretty much avoided everything, but I did it. I was on the 1 minute time frame. Like, I used to trade on the 1 minute time frame a lot back then. Like it was bad. And I just remember trading every day and trying to trade every setup and trying to make as much money as I possibly could in one day. So that goes back down to discipline. It goes back down to discipline. When it comes to trading, you gotta remember, the slower you go, the faster everything kind of comes full circle. Like in the beginning, it might seem like, if I made X amount of money this week, I'm good and I'm set, but it's never the case. You wanna focus more on like, if I'm trying to trade, I need to become better and better on a day-to-day basis, a week-to-week basis, and I should take my time to actually learn and perfect the craft, and actually, like, to be honest, real shit, the only thing you really need to learn is like trends and higher time frames. Like if you actually understand what a trend is and understand like how I told him about the higher high and the higher low needs to be made or whatever the case might be, if you understand that and put that in your head, it pretty much clears up anything. And I'm not gonna say it's like the holy grail, but I definitely remember switching and trusting the higher time frame and trusting like, this is the fundamentals of the trend, let me trust it. It started to play out more in my favor because I started to trust the actual process. And I've shown you guys time and time again, like before and after, like trust the trend, trust the process, and you'll see like the next day or the day after, it's gonna play out in the way that you want it if you're looking at the right things, right? So that's definitely something I want to say when it comes down to discipline. You have to like really take your time. Like I know like some of you guys, somebody in this room probably spent their last dollars to get here. You never know, right? Somebody probably did all they could to get here. And what I could tell you is like the slower you go in life, in anything you do, the slower you go, the more you can take in and actually analyze. Because if your life is constantly, okay, go to work. I'm trying to trade wine out of work. I'm trying to do this and handle all these different things. I got people at home praying for me, or like they're counting on me, or I have this, or I have this friend that needs this. I want to go on this vacation, or I want to do this. I want to buy this. And you have all these different things cluttering your mind. It's really hard to really process what you're actually doing. But the moment you slow down and calm down, you're actually able to take in things and understand your own self. I always tell people, I'm super big on psychology. It's like charts is another thing. That shit is easy. But when it comes to the psychology part, you really have to like sit down with yourself and understand yourself as a person. Because I was a very greedy person and I didn't even know it. Like once I knew the opportunities that trading could give me, I kind of was in like, oh shit, like I know I can make a couple hundred off of it. I need it now. I need it like at this moment. But I started to see like my greed was taking over my actual skill, right? There's a lot of people in this world that let their greed take over things. There's a lot of bad habits that people kind of, like, let's say you have like a person that drinks, right? They drink, and they could be a great person, but then over time, the alcoholism starts to take over in their life and ends up affecting them. So it's the same way with my greed. It was like I was becoming greedier and greedier, and it was affecting taking my actual chance to actually learn what I was actually doing. I was more in it for the money and not the skill of it. So that's one thing I will say when it comes to discipline is actually take your time, slow down, go to like, if you can, like go to a private area or like outside or something, get some fresh air and sit with yourself and let your thoughts roam, no music, whatever. And this might sound cliche, but really sit with yourself and ask yourself different questions like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What do you think of yourself? How do you think of yourself? And you have to be brutally honest. Like when I thought of myself, I was like, damn, I'm just nobody, right? Like I was a nobody. So it was like, once you sit down and you're honest with yourself, your honesty to yourself then allows the truth to give you answers. And once your truth gives you answers like, okay, I'm a bad person at this, or I'm a bad person at that, you start to then come up with solutions on how you can become a better person. Once you become a better person, it goes full circle into anything you do. Because if you're a good person, you're a positive person, you're going to see positivity in anything you do because you bring positive energy to it. Like this room, right? I have no negative energy at all. Look at the positivity that we have in this room, right? And there's some people in here who probably hate me, right? You never know. You never know. But it's always going to outweigh. Like the positivity is always going to outweigh. You're going to have negative thoughts about yourself, right?
Right.
So positivity, as long as you have positivity, it's always going to outweigh what you think about yourself, right? Always think about it that way. Like somebody told me, they was like, yeah, like how I think of social media. They're like, bro, you see hate more than you see love, but there's a lot of love, right? There's a lot of love. So it's the same way with yourself. Like you can see a lot of bad things about you, but you have to wake up and be like, dang, I woke up today, right? Like I'm here, so I'm able to learn another day. So yeah.
100 million!
Yeah, shout out to y'all guys. I woke up tomorrow and I think the first thing I would do, if I had like $0 to my name, nothing, I definitely would find some stable source of income. Like I think that's the biggest thing that can help any trader is having some type of stable source of income, whether it's freelancing, whether it's doing like a job, fast food, or whatever. Anything you can pick up, do some sort of like stable income. Once I find some type of stable income, I will try to create some type of saving plan for myself so I can put some money to the side and then I can also still live a day-to-day life. Once I figure out like, all right, what is my savings? How long is it going to take me to save up to $1,000, $2,000, right? And then as I'm doing that, I will be learning. And that will be more of like, I would think of it as like college, for example. So if it's going to take me 3 months to save up $1,000, that will be my college for myself in trading. So basically, I'll be like, all right, 3 months I have to learn trading, right? And then my big test will be when I got $1,000, right? And as these 3 months go by, I'm practicing on the charts. I'm taking positions on trading view, or trading like trading on trading view, right? And I'll be learning and seeing if my positions are right. And once I'm seeing my positions are right, I see I'm consistent. And I'm also setting up. Once the moment comes, I'll be like, okay, I think I'm ready. And I'm ready only because I see that I have better positions now. My positions are good. I'm hitting TV. I'm hitting stop loss. A lot of people, they think like, oh, I turned $1,000 demo to $10,000. I'm ready to go. But it's never the case because you could probably do that at one trade, right? What?
Damn.
Financial advice.
This is not financial advice. Fuck that. You gotta pay that shit later. You gotta pay that shit later. Not financial advice, but I'll pay that shit later. You got bigger, because like, I understand life happens, right? But you have to remember, like, you cannot keep putting yourself in, like, once again, I know life happens, but you can't keep putting yourself in holes and holes and holes. Because there's some people out here that will go out and get a loan to start trading, right? Instead of building it from the ground up, because you think just because you have the funds, you're able to, like, that's why you can name prop firms. Prop firms are just like loans too, right? You think just because I have the capital, I'm going to become a profitable trader. That's what's going to make you profitable, right? But it all comes down once again to the skill. Like if you have the skill, if your blade is sharp, then you can attack it more, right? So it's not about if you have the funds or not. So the more you keep digging yourself in the hole, I would just say you already dug yourself in the hole. You don't have any money, so stop putting yourself in a bigger hole. You need to figure out a way out of, okay, I need funds, so that way I can learn how to trade, start learning how to trade, get some funds, and then as my skills start to show, then you can pay that off later. It's not financial advice now.
You know, can I squeeze through y'all really fast? Can I squeeze through y'all really fast? I got a question. Excuse me,
4
brother.
figures a month to 5 figures a month. I would definitely say the biggest thing for me was definitely the losses that I did take in the beginning, or like even opening trades. Like in the beginning, like taking a loss for like $1,000, $2,000, it kind of has you like thinking like, damn, like I really just lost like 3-4 weeks of work.
Oh, thank you.
Like if you constantly thinking,
Oh, really?
if you constantly thinking,
Let me
in
just
mindset
stoop
of, like,
down.
all right, this is how much I would make for my job.
You know, I'll
So
stoop
if you keep trading and think of it as like, this is my job, it kind of makes you be more careful
I just
on
got
what
a
you're
question.
actually doing. Like you're not going into it like, oh, trading is the holy grail, right? It's my actual job. I have to wake up and do this every morning, or I have to do this like every other day to make a source of living. And then, what the fuck is that? But yeah, when you think like in the terms of like, all right, this is my actual job, then you're more careful on what you're doing and you're more cautious and more patient for what you're doing. So it's easier to scale when you have a clear mind. For the guy that asked about 4 figures to 5, it really comes down to, hold on one second. It really comes down to just trusting the process of what you're doing and then continue to build up with proper risk to reward. There's nothing really different from scaling up numbers wise. It's more of like a skill thing. Like as long as your skill is getting better and better, you're gonna make money regardless. And as long as you're protecting your capital and using it wisely, because I know your first 10K, you're gonna definitely blow that shit, bro. I'm telling you, bro, I heard so many people say, oh bro, when I make 10K, I'm gonna help this, help that.
Hell no.
Bro, my first 10K, I definitely blew that shit in the mouth. Bro, and it's because we're humans, right? We're humans, right?
Right.
But once you get away from the mind, yeah, open up.
And now, right here. Right here.
Yeah.
I got a question, bro. Go.
Oh yeah.
You're real, man. I think you're fake.
Yeah, yeah.
My question is, when you go into a winning streak, let's say the market humbles you, how do you feel about that? Like, I don't
When the market humbles me.
Yeah, like, man, you lost today.
You lost today.
So I didn't lose today,
Oh.
but I'm just saying.
I mean, the market's closed, right? She just lost a couple meals. Shit.
If you're on a losing streak and you take a loss, it's not necessarily humbling you because you've already seen that whatever you're doing is obviously working on those win streak. So when you do take that loss, it's not really it shouldn't affect you as much because you know you obviously have the skill. It just didn't play out that day. So once again, don't think of it in a sense of like, oh, I'm just a bad trader. Just think of it as like, all right, today wasn't the day. Or I probably miscommunicated with the markets, right? It's all about the communication. The market is going to tell you what it's going to do, and you receive that communication that the market is giving you, and maybe some days you might have a miscommunication. That's just life, right? You're going to miscommunicate with your friends. You're going to miscommunicate with your family. But you're not going to like, just because you and your mom or you and your dad or you and your friend miscommunicate, you're not going to stop being friends or you're not stop going to be family, right? Just because you miscommunicate with the markets, that doesn't mean, all right, I'm done, I'm going to quit, right? So it's just a bad day. You wake up the next day and see if you can catch the communication that day.
This is cool, because I know you since like when you had dreads.
Oh, that's lit, bro.
Yo, son.
What's up?
All right. All right, so I know somebody had mentioned that aha moment.
Yeah.
Now I know we all looking for that aha moment.
Yeah.
What time frame was your aha moment on? I mean, I know you trade up. I know you trade up.
Not gonna change anything.
I'm just saying because I know you said it's better to trade on the higher time frames. You know what I'm saying?
1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame shake, that's bad when it comes to anything.
I was just trying to see if you remember what your aha moment was.
It was like 4 years ago.
Hey, some people remember that shit, right?
Hey, so you have 13 videos explaining the fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
So like, no need for me to ask you, whatever. But like, from the 3,000 to the 100, how did it go? How did it work? How long did it take? I know you've probably been training for that like 2 years before that.
Roughly like 2 to 3 months. It was roughly 2 to 3 months. And honestly, it was just pretty much set up with volume, to be honest, because at that time I was trading penny stocks at that time. So if we're talking about in the beginning, it was definitely penny stocks, but I don't remember every single trade. But
How long?
I took it pretty smooth on those 2 months though. I chased whatever was trending at that time, and I was looking for whatever came out with the best outcome and probability. So it wasn't like, oh, I was just hopping into anything and everything. I was definitely taking my time and looking for what was going to play out in my favor.
What's your routine before trading the market? You wake up now?
No, I'm not gonna be like one of those. I'm not gonna be like the gurus and be like, yeah, bro, I wake up, meditate. No, I don't do that, bro. Even in the beginning, bro, I couldn't really have a routine. The reason I couldn't have a routine is because I had 2 jobs, so my life was chaotic. But what I can say that will help is what I said earlier about sitting with yourself and being able to process your thoughts and letting that. So if you want to call that meditation, but definitely do that on a day-to-day basis. Don't be like, oh, I need to do it at 9 a.m. every morning. Just whenever you have the chance to sit with your thoughts and clear your thoughts, take that time and then, utilize that.
Well, like how many hours before the market opens?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as, because remember, you're battling yourself regardless. So if you practice with yourself any time in the moment or any time in the day, it doesn't matter. You're still going to have that thought of you doing that. That's still going to be forever with yourself. So as long as you're doing that, you pretty much, it doesn't matter what time you wake up, right? Because I wake up at pretty much 9:30, probably on the dot, sometimes 8, sometimes before. It's just really random. It's like I don't have I need to wake up at 9 o'clock every single morning, right? It's just more of like, if I wake up today, I trade.
Hey, we're still waiting on that psychology channel, huh?
Huh?
We're still waiting on that psychology channel.
ICC
Oh,
Mafia.
psychology channel. Yeah, we'll see. Should I wait? Yo, get that.
I see greatness in you.
No, her. But what's that? It depends on what you're struggling with in psychology because it has a lot of different things to it. There's a lot of things that drive psychology. Psychology is like the how do I say it? It's a broad thing, right? But what you're doing kind of stems back into it. So it depends on what you're doing. So like how he said losses, that will affect the psychology if that makes sense, right? So when it comes to like losses, like I just told somebody, you shouldn't think of it as like, oh, I'm a bad trader or I don't know what I'm doing. It's more of like, all right, what did I do wrong? And how can I fix what I did wrong? And if you accept that, then you kind of go in with the mindset of, if I lose, I'm okay with it, right? Trading, for example, because I'm good with, I like analogies. Trading, for example, is like a car, right? Or your strategy is like a car. The more complex your car is, the more complex your strategy is, the more harder it's going to be fixed, right? Right? So when you get all these like crazy, like souped up cars, it's going to cost a lot, or it's going to be a lot to fix them. But if you have like a Honda, something simple, right? It's going to be so much easier to fix. You're going to know what to fix because it's not that many parts in it, right? So when it comes with your trading strategy, as long as you're able to look under the hood and be able to fix what you're looking at or fix what's wrong, then you shouldn't be like, bent out of shape. But if you got like a super expensive, super souped out car, one thing breaks, of course you're gonna freak out because you don't know what to fix. Right?
Market or limit order. Market or limit.
Market. But yeah, just make sure that what you're doing is super simple so that way when you do lose, you can go in and know what to fix right away. And then you can move on to the next one, right? So yeah, that answered that question. I'm gonna definitely get this guy in the back. No, it's not in Los Angeles. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even down to this. This is a sense of giving back. I personally, I don't know about everybody else, but I always believe in trying to give as much back as possible because, like, I have a big thing on like wisdom. Wisdom, if you don't give it out, it becomes broke, right? It becomes nothing, right? If you keep wisdom for yourself and you don't let the world elevate, because we're all here to create something and elevate in some type of way, whether it's some type of value, some type of skill, any type of like a video or something. Like I create these videos to provide you wisdom because overall, then you might end up making videos, and that's essentially how I think the world can change. Like if people have more wisdom and more knowledge in this world, I think this world would definitely be a better place because you won't have people out here just doing anything and everything, killing, robbing, all this stuff, because they would have some knowledge on how they could change their life, even if it's trading, even if it's like some type of business or even working an actual job, right? They have some type of knowledge, some type of wisdom on how to go about that because there's some people out here that don't even think they can do that, right? Because they don't have anybody out there to tell them that they can do it. They have no hope. They have no type of knowledge, no type of wisdom that says like, yo, you have the potential to do this. You got to do it this way. Follow these steps, and you can possibly make a better living for yourself or make a better outcome for yourself. So like he said, I definitely believe in giving back as much as possible. It doesn't have to be money-wise, but wisdom goes a long way. Like a lot of people, wow. DMs, definitely a lot of people ask me for money, but I'm like, bro, I teach you how to make money yourself, bro. Like, I don't know what it is, too. It's like the more money you make, the higher it goes. It's like, in the beginning, I remember my friends like, yo, bro, can I get 20 bucks? Yo, can I get 500 bucks? And then it's like, yo, bro, can I get 20,000? It's like, what the what? But I definitely believe in giving out wisdom because wisdom goes a long way. These words that I say, you'll always remember them. If you remember them, it's always going to replay in your head. And it's going to be something that travels with you for a long period of time because I've been in your situation before. Somebody might have a worse life than I did, but I've definitely been in a rough situation where I didn't believe in myself. So the best I can do is give back as much as possible. So it's not going to be in LA. It's going to be in ATL because that's where I grew up at. I'm going to be giving back to the foster kids and stuff in November. So that's something I really wanted to do and kind of talk to them because, you know, like, why not? I know you probably see like the chains in the jewelry is something I just wanted to do when I was young, seeing rappers and shit, but I don't care for materialistic things. I travel the world and I travel the world a lot. It's very expensive to keep traveling the world how I do, but hey, I got these two to help me out. I'm going to a private island maybe. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I haven't decided yet. But I travel a lot, and the reason I'm bringing this up because I'm not big on materialistic things. I'm big on traveling and experiences because your experiences will always shape your psychology. Once again, I'm super big on psychology. So the more you experience, the more you see, the bigger you think of life. In general, I've seen things in other countries where I'm like, dang, this is how they're living or this is how their life is. I need to respect my life more because they're having a worse life. So I do like traveling a lot just to shape my experience on things. But I'm also a big person on just like, once again, doing this whole like sharing the wisdom, but traveling is something I do a lot to just get that overall experience and overall see how everybody else is living and being grateful, and it helps me, keeps me pushing every day. So I would recommend for anybody here, obviously get yourself some nice things, right? But if you start making some money, help your family out, help some friends out. It doesn't have to be money-wise, but at least like, hey bro, I was able to do this changed my life, this did this. Share that with somebody. It could be one person. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to make a whole Instagram about it. You know, like you got, like look at this shit, bro. Like there's 300 people in here and y'all all, some of y'all from LA, some of y'all not, but all these people are mostly from LA and y'all probably didn't even know that. And y'all probably walked past these people on a day-to-day basis and didn't even know they traded. All right, so think about if you tell the next person like, hey, this is something you could do to change your life, and then they could be in this room doing this, right? You never know what you can say to somebody else that's going to make them change their whole perspective or change their whole aspect in life. So once again, back to what he said, like, you don't have to give away money, but give away some type of value to the world. The most successful people in the world are the people that actually bring value to the world. I'm gonna bring up Elon Musk, right? Just because he's rich, that's like how he got rich. But what he does do is provide some type of value through electric cars, right? And like, there's probably like a battle between that, but like, he provides electric cars, which is better for the economy in some aspects, right? But that's a prime example of bringing some type of value to the world, and you'll still receive good on the end. There will be some times, like I've been through, and this will go into like, because discipline is stem from psychology, but when you're on this training journey, the one thing I will say is choose the people that you are around wisely. People that don't have the same goals as you or the same vision as you, or they don't think the same way you do, choose that wisely.
Exactly.
Definitely, when I started trading, I remember making this group chat, 20 people. It was coworkers, friends, some family members. And I remember typing in that group chat, and I had every 20 people in there. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna be my like group chat for my trading. I'm gonna share my charts in here. This is what I'm gonna talk about. Yeah, like hopefully we all make some money together. And they're like, yeah, that shit's gambling. It's for white people. It's not gonna work. And I just remember this when I was 18. I was like, damn. I was like, I really think trading is gonna work. And they just like, people will stump on your dreams and people will stump on what you believe in. And it's just like, damn, like, those ain't the people you want to be around. The people in here, we all believe in trading in some type of way, right? We all
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're not going to get mad. We're not going to get mad at each other. Like, you might somebody might over leverage their account. We're not going to get mad at him, or we're not going to get mad at her. We're going to be like, all right, this is what you can do. This is what can be better for you, or this is what I would do if I was you, right? We would lift each other up. So always put yourself around people that are going to lift you up through thick and thin. Like always, right? I've had friends in my past that, you know, we would smile. Like just because somebody smiles in your face and you're having a good time, and this will definitely play a lot when you start making money, right? You start going out with your friends. There's people that will smile in your face. And I was, this guy, I'm not going to name his name, but this guy when I was 18, when I was 19, I was like 19, smile on my face, we would have fun. And then I ended up getting robbed by him. Like he took everything I had, all the designer I had, all the Apple products I had, and just like ran with it. And like it was just that. And I thought this was my best friend, right? I've had people snake me like behind my back, do shady things behind my back, and it's just like there will be people out there you have to watch, because this will be something that also shapes the way that you like proceed in life. Like once again, it's going to affect your psychology, because if you have no trust in the people around you, you might have no trust in whatever you're doing, because you got to worry about the people that you can't trust. So you're putting your energy to people you can't trust. So if you have positive people around you, it's going to make you think more positively when it comes to whatever you're doing, because you know your friends are positive, they believe in you, you believe in yourself. But if you have people that don't believe in you, it's just gonna give you a mindset like, dang, like it's a bunch of negativity around you. Once again, everything stems to psychology. So once again, make sure you put the right people around you. Like everybody in this room, you can socialize with anybody in this room and make some friends. And you don't even have to talk on a daily basis, but you know that person's a trader. And you know,
Right.
like you're ever struggling with something, if y'all get along, you know, like you can go out to that person and be like, hey bro, I'm struggling with this, right?
Exactly.
And that's what we're all here for, is to become better people, right? We're not here to like show off ego or show off this or show off that. We're here to grow as people and have a better living for ourselves. And hopefully we'll all be on the island one day.
Yeah.
When you first grew that 500, right, and you needed to like teach yourself, who
Yeah.
or what helped you learn the most? And then to this day, you have to keep learning as a person, right? Who or what helps you keep learning every single day?
And what keeps me learning? I think the best thing is probably, I just want to get better for myself, to be honest. It's not like a who or what is making me want to learn. It's just really like, I just want to keep getting better and see, like, I want to, like, I always think if I'm going to do something, I'm trying to be like, I don't want to be the best, but I definitely want to be better every single day than myself. I think that's what it comes down to for me, is like, can I be better? Oh, I'm just blocking. Can I be better than myself every single day? Can I get better? Is it a possibility that I can get better every single day? Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
What's the question? What's the question?
It's bullish. It's bullish about this. No, stop thinking that. A lot of people think that. No. I'm not yelling at you, but when it comes to the higher time frames, you have to trust it. Because I've heard a lot of people saying like, "Oh, what if it does this, or what if it comes down?" If it comes down, you just take a loss, right? But like 9 times out of 10, the higher time frame is going to respect itself, so it's going to play out in your favor how you want it if you're looking at the higher time frames correctly. So don't get into a trade and the higher time frame is showing bullish. Don't ever think like, oh, well, what happens if it comes down? Because you're thinking negatively about the trade.
Sorry, what's the question? What's the question? What's the question?
So like, when do you mark up in the beginning of the week, or like do you like mark up every time you button trade?
It just depends on. It doesn't really matter when you mark up. Like if I'm
Check your 3 days.
yeah.
You're saying like high time frame, so it's like
The higher time frame, if you, as long as you go off whatever the recent high or low is, like you shouldn't have to like. So when you get on the charts, the first thing you should look for is like, what is my swing high? What is my current swing low? And then you play off of what of those are doing. If price has already created some type of indication, you can play off of that. But you really just want to go on the charts whenever you are wanting to trade and look for the swing high first, look for the swing low, and then play off of that. Because once you have those marked, all right, where's the indication setting to say which way is it going to go, and then you play it off that way.
Si, what's your broker history and why?
Wait, what?
What's your broker history and why? Like you started with Weeble, you said, and then
I started with Vital, and then I went to Hugo's. I started with KLT for 3 days, went to Vital, and then I was on that for like almost a year, and then I switched to Hugo's, and then I switched to Liquid.
why switch so much?
Because the brokers wasn't paying me out on some.
What's the reason they don't on that? Like,
Just unregulation. So it was a lot, like at the time of like 2022 to 2024, there was a lot of unregulated brokers created by influencers.
Okay.
And pretty much that's all you had at that time. So
And
before we had futures and all the new regulated brokers, that's all we had at that time. Yeah. Oh shit, he's hella far. Come up. Yeah, what's good? Smoke weed and trade like.
Right.
Alright, he's good. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's one thing, like I was just going off.
You feel like smoking weed affects your trading?
I feel like it makes me glad actually, it makes me more desperate.
Do you feel like you think more because you smoke weed? This is a genuine question.
I think that like when I smoke, it can make me more comfortable with my emotions. I can see things more black and white.
Alright. So you're asking this question, do you feel like it affects you negatively?
I think it affects me.
That's what if it's not affecting you negatively, it doesn't really matter. As long as something is not negatively affecting you, then it doesn't really matter. You shouldn't really play it at team, whatever you're thinking. So don't overthink it. If you want to smoke, you can smoke. Right? If you want to drink, you want to drink. I fucking drink all the time. But if it comes into your life and it's messing up your trading, or you can't wake up on time, or you can't catch trades, you're missing trades because you're smoking or whatever, then that's when it becomes a problem, right? You're a human being, bro. Live your life, right? So if you want to do that, you can do it. Whatever you want to do it. And as long as it's not affecting you negatively, you continue to do it, right? But if you start to see some negativity, cut it down.
I'm sorry. What's the story behind the face that?
I don't really fucking know. That's good. Spontaneous as fuck. It was good. My relationship with God, oh bro. I'm still working on it. Because like, I like to have fun. I think this year has been the year that I've been more lenient on myself because I used to be super strict on myself. Kind of like how he was saying, like I didn't do certain things. So I would definitely say I'm still kind of battling with my actual like life I want to be, and then trying to live a godly life as well. So I'm working on it. I'm not gonna say I'm perfect.
You trade US 30?
No, I traded US 30 at my year two of trading. I traded US 30, and then I took a huge loss on like a CPI day. I lost like right around 600K, and I just never traded gold again. So it was like I never traded US 30 again. So it was just like yeah.
Do you journal your trades?
I journal my trades. I wouldn't say I like write it down and be like, oh, like this is what I did today, but it's definitely like a self-awareness thing. Like, what did I do today? So like the other day when I lost on Solana, I didn't say I journaled it, but I definitely sat with myself and I was like, all right, why didn't I see this play out? Well, how come this didn't play out the way I seen it? Or wanted it to? Why didn't this play out the way I wanted it to? But it's more of like for me, like I wouldn't say I'll write it down, but I'm definitely like, all right, what could I do better next time? Yeah, reflection. More of a reflection, not a journal.
So how do you correct that? Like if you reflect, Solana trade went bad, what was your adjustment?
My adjustment, to be honest, this is not an ego thing, but like my adjustment for that was really just waiting for the next trade because I knew I was like I knew I was looking at the right thing. It was just the market. It wasn't the right time. Like, it wasn't the right time. So
It
it
went down
wasn't.
eventually, I saw.
Yeah, it went down eventually.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, the lady right here. Yeah.
Okay, so there's obviously been a lot of discourse, like there's 78 million on social media. I want to know how you've been managing like your mental health, and like does it affect you, and if it does, like how do you feel about it?
Social media.
Social media doesn't affect me. It doesn't. People are going to say whatever they're going to say regardless of the fact. I've been trading for 4 years, going on 5. I've been doing the same thing since the beginning of like this whole journey, right? And people are always going to make some type of narrative of you any type of way. I can sit here and debunk everything, but like what would that prove, right? Like as long as I'm here for you guys, I think that would be the biggest thing. And like I can debunk everything. Like I've been a solid person since the start of my journey. I've been trying to stay a solid person. Not even trying, it's something I do. And stay a solid person to make sure everybody gets enough value as possible.
Hey, shut up! No, get out! Okay.
I've been trying to stay a solid person, just making sure everybody, is able to make trading their source of living, So I would definitely say that I don't try to fight social media, right? And that's kind of why I'm taking this break too, because I knew like this was going to bring eyes, but then I also knew that like I just needed to take a break for myself because I feel like everybody has what they already need. Like I feel like I put out enough where you can pretty much become a little bit successful in whatever you're chasing. So yeah.
Appreciate you for that, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
All right here.
So I'm younger, I'm 17, and I do work in also.
You want the mic?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I mean, everybody want to hear you.
I'm 17 and I work and also attend school, and I do have a single mom. So trying to help her pay the bills and everything, and also learn how to trade at the same time is very difficult. My question to you is, how do you refresh your memory when you want to go back to studying, learning? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you refresh your brain without having to go through all the videos again? And like, how do you just refresh your brain? Because like when after I go to work and I go to school, it's like, okay,
You forget some stuff.
Yeah, like I'm forgetting. Even though I take notes, it's like, okay, I go back to the notes, but I feel like it's not clicking. Like, how do
How do you lock in?
How do you lock in?
It's really about rewatching the videos. I watch the videos like 10 times.
Depends though. If you're putting into action that kind of like it already, so like if you're learning, you also need to be practicing as well. Not trading actual real until you feel like you actually got it, but you need to be implementing it. Because once you start implementing it, that's when you actually have it locked into your head.
Yeah.
If you're just writing it down, learning it, then there's no point because you're not testing yourself on that knowledge that you're learning. So you have to keep testing yourself because once you test yourself, you'll start to remember certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, it's okay to have conversations in the back, but can we take it outside? There's more than enough room to have conversations outside. We can't hear you up here, and we can't hear the people that are asking
That was a
questions.
good question.
So that would be very nice. Thank you.
Say it louder. Stop talking.
Yeah, what's next?
What's a quote that you live by every day that you can give us?
You said what?
What's a quote that you live by every day that you can give
Something I
us?
used to tell myself in the beginning was like, if I'm gonna do something, I have to give it my all. If I'm not gonna give it my all, then don't do it at all. Something like that. It was something like that. I remembered it. That shit was so long ago. But yeah, it was like, if you're gonna do something, it was like, if you're gonna do something, give it your all. If you're not gonna give it your all, don't do it at all.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Exactly.
If you become obsessed when you start trading, you become obsessed. Waking up,
Obsessed,
4 in the
yes.
morning, looking at
Sorry,
charts,
man.
how do you get over there?
Don't. Why would you do that? Dream about charts. Dream about charts. Eat about charts.
I'll fall asleep to
Looking
that
at
shit.
the charts. Yeah, bro, you gotta.
They like, how do you get over it? They're like, bro, why you here? Right.
Actually, it might be in one
Don't think about that. Don't think about that. We're all here for money, of course, right? But we have to focus on that skill. Like, if
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Yo.
Right.
Why did y'all all scream?
You gotta lock that tripod down.
Oh, brother. Good.
Open up the legs some more.
That white board is pulling it. Push it to the cabin board.
Yeah, extend those legs. Open the legs up.
Should be good. Yeah.
On those higher time frames, let's say for example, MU, right?
Yeah.
It swings like 1,000 points potentially.
Yeah.
If you get in this 300 points, you have a small account. If it goes there, and you retrace it, obviously you got the stop loss. But what are you risking with the 10%? And how do you go about doing it?
So if you're trying to, what are you saying small account there? Trading NQ and small account. $1,000 trading NQ?
0.01. You're talking about liquid broker.
Yeah. So it's going to be $100 if it's 100 points though. It's not moving 1,000 points on that one move though. Like one candle is not moving 1,000 points, 1,000 pips, but not 1,000 points.
1,000 pips, let's say like on the higher time, for example, like if it's at right now it's around like 26,000 or whatever. It starts off 26,000, goes to 26,300. That's where the candle closes.
Yeah.
Where are you getting it?
Your interest. Oh, you're saying if you wait for the candle to close or not. So if price is pushing above your level or below your level, you don't necessarily have to wait for the candle to close because the volume is what's pushing price to move above that level anyways. So if you're trading the higher time frame, price is not breaking those levels for no reason. Now there will be some times where something like BTC or something where it has a bunch of liquidity, where it will come to some levels and have some type of rejections go. When it comes to like NASDAQ, or like gold, I haven't seen something where it already showed a previous indication, already corrected, and it came above that level and rejected. So I would definitely say just continue to trade off of that level, place a position at that level, and let price play out how it's going to play out. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to the Limit. Thank you for having this event.
Yes, sir.
It's Isaiah. I wanted to ask you, I'm trading on the platform thered.com where you're able to use lower margins for a higher profit. What is your take on indices, volatility indices? And also, for every trader in here moving forward with smaller accounts, what do you think we should all put in our attention to focus on as far as stocks, indexes, indices? What should we be looking at moving forward in the future?
It depends on what you want to trade though. Like I'm not going to tell you like what you should trade, but I definitely would say that when it comes to my trading, I trade things that have a lot of volume on a day-to-day basis. I think I said this earlier, where things like gold or things like NASDAQ. Those are constant things where people are putting money into it, investors are investing money into it on a day-to-day basis. They're also closing and selling positions on a day-to-day basis. So there's always going to be some type of fluctuation. And the economy is also going to make it fluctuate as well, because if something happens, all the investors may get out, or they all might get in. So it's going to be high fluctuation more than something that has nobody investing into it. So as long as whatever you're trading is something that at 9 o'clock in the morning when the bank's open, people are placing positions, then that's something you should be trading. Or like something like crypto, where people are constantly putting millions and millions of dollars into it on a day-to-day basis, or taking out millions and millions of dollars on a day-to-day basis. That is something you trade. Bro, that's like 40 questions.
Quick question. Do you recommend proper at all?
Yeah. I think prop firms are like playing off of people's need for money, but and people are gonna fight me because they're like, yeah, but I can use $50 and get a 100K account. But it's like, yeah, or like if you don't really, you don't really value it the same. I think if you start off with like 2,000, 3,000, 1,000, you kind of value your hard work money more when you see it all in one area, and then you're like, okay, like I obviously don't want to lose my whole $1,000 that I put into it. But with like $50, that's like a fucking McDonald's meal. It's kind of like, okay, I can just get another account. I have this one person text me the other day. It was probably like 2 weeks ago. She buys funded accounts for like, what, maybe $30, $40. She's blown over 180 of them. And she texts me every single day saying, I blew this one, I'm gonna buy another one today. But you see how easy, because she's like, oh, it's just $40, it's just $80, right? I could buy a new one. I get $500 a week, $40 ain't gonna hurt me.
Making somebody rich.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then again, you're just feeding whoever influencer made that popcorn. They're just like, oh shit, thank you.
Right.
So I definitely would say just build up your own capital. Even if it takes you months, as you're doing that, once again, treat this as your tuition or treat this as your college. If it takes you 5 months to save up, that's the time that you learn. In those 5 months, you make yourself better in 5 months. Once you have it saved up, then you're ready for the test. Once you're ready, like I said, with the whole risk to reward standpoint, there's no way you should be losing all those trades. If you studied it, if you practiced it, you learned for 5 months on end, or 6 months on end, or 12 months on end, right? There's no way you should be losing, right? At least not that much. You're gonna take some type of loss, but you shouldn't be losing back to back to back to back to back. You should always come out on profit on something, and then risk to reward is always gonna play in your favor. Because once again, if you have a 1 to 3, right? If you lose one, your next trade is still gonna make up for it, and you come out in profit either way it goes. So, yeah, what's good?
You talked about practicing and studying. You made a video on how to do that.
How to practice and study?
How to like show you how to practice.
I would say, I can answer that now. When it comes to properly practicing and studying, I personally don't believe, I'm a strong believer in not back testing, because you're essentially doing something that already happened. When you're trying to become a day trader, you need to focus, you need to be good at knowing what's going to happen, or like what's going to happen, if that makes sense. So when you're practicing something that has already happened, you're essentially just back testing the past, right? It's already happened before. But you need to become a better trader on like, okay, I see this and this. That means that this could possibly happen and play out in my favor. So what I would say is when you're practicing, you need to basically pretend like you're already pretend like you're a trader already, if that makes sense. So you need to be waking up at the time you want. Like the other guy said, if you want to build a routine for yourself, you can. What time whenever you want to wake up, build that for yourself so you understand like, all right, this time works best for me. Or like, this is when I should be waking up. This is when I should go to sleep. Or this is what I should be doing at this time, right? And then go into the markets that you want to trade. Once you trade something with high liquidity, or like something that's always fluctuating high, so that way you can find consistent moves, and you can find the market is always moving and trending, and then practice that on a day-to-day basis, right? Practice getting in the morning and trying to hold that trade throughout the day and seeing if it plays out, right? Because what this is going to do is then, when you're actually ready to trade, you've already done this so many times that you already know what to do, right? It's the same way with like sports, for example, like boxing, because I box, right? When I first started, It was more of like learning what I was doing, the fundamentals behind it, right? Learning how to throw a punch, how to throw a kick or whatever, right? And I did MMA too as well. Learning how to throw that punch. And then doing it over and over and over and over. And then when it came to an actual fight, it was like, I knew how to throw the punch, and it was just like natural, right? So once again, I would definitely say, and then to also combat with it as well, you wouldn't just watch, fighting highlights and think you're going to be the best fighter, right? You actually have to do it. So the same way with trading, you can't just watch the past. You have to actually get into the markets and do it, right? So that answers that question. Yeah, what's good, bro?
What time do you usually wake up to enter trade?
What time do you usually wake up to enter a trade?
It doesn't matter.
Whenever you see a setup.
Right.
When is it too late to enter a trade?
New York session.
I necessarily would say like from 9 to 11, maybe 12. It's probably like a good time to trade and be in the markets and looking. If nothing happens, you shouldn't be staring at the charts all New York session. Set an alert. I think this will kind of help pretty much everything because I'm setting alerts.
Yeah.
So like if the price doesn't hit an alert, I'm not on the chart. So it's like I don't wake up every day and be like, oh, what is going to happen? I just set the alert that I'm looking for. I'm mostly looking for a swing high or swing low to be broken. And once that happens, then I'll like think about the trade and try to get into the trade. So it's really to answer that question is whenever my alerts hit, that's when I hop on the charts. Oh, I'm working on something, but it's not a platform. Yeah, it's good. Me personally, I don't really do technical analysis. I let news play out how it wants to because essentially it's going to follow the higher time frame regardless. There was this like big debate about the BTC trade that I took like a few weeks ago when it sold off, and it was like, oh, it only sold off because of Trump. But before that, we already had signs that price was getting weak before the hand, and news just pumped the market to where it needed to go. So news is just essentially going to bring the volume to the market of what people are already thinking, right? Because people, before something happens, they're going to think, so if they think price is going to go bullish, you're going to see signs before. If they think something in the market or the economy is going to go bullish, they're going to do that. You're going to see signs in the traders or the investors in the market. You're going to see that already before it even plays out. So it's going to be little hints, right? That shows you that. So. It just depends on your style of trading, to be honest. Like I said, what I do is just technical. I can't tell you if it's the best way or there's no best way. You asked one already. No, it's not me. Oh, you're talking about options. I haven't had options in like so long. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna take one more question and I'm gonna get into the rest of what I have to say. I'm gonna go over here.
Where are you going for vacation?
Where am I going for vacation? I can't tell you. I'm gonna see that dude out there, bro. I gotta go somewhere where nobody knows me. I remember one time I was in where was I? I think I was either in Amsterdam or I was in Paris. I was in a bathroom, just a random restaurant, bro. I was in a bathroom and a dude, he's like, bro, I know you. And I'm like, I'm taking a piss and he's like, bro. And like, he's like hitting my back and I'm like, using the bathroom. Like, bro, you gonna let me use the bathroom or what? So I gotta go where nobody's at. But,
that's that same shit Kevin Hart said.
sure. I got some more things I want to say, and I want to leave you guys with. It kind of goes back to what that one guy said. I want you guys to really, like, I'm not here just to, like, just chat shit, but I want you guys to come out of here and really think, like, I've definitely learned something. I want you all to feel like you've learned something, but not from, like, oh, the chart standpoint, but a psychology standpoint. The biggest thing that But the biggest thing I want to say is, if you leave this room, remember, trading is not just about the charts. It's all psychology. Like, at the end of the day, it's all psychology. I want you guys to really leave with that, and not just like trading question. Like, I have no problem with it, but I definitely want to say that some of the questions that y'all do have, you can easily find that out as you start to trade more and more and more. It's something like, I can tell you what to do, but you're not really going to understand it until it happens over and over and over and over, right? But what I can say is, like, change your mindset. Everything that you think, every way that you process something, make sure it becomes better and better, because we all have a history, we all have some type of story. So when it comes to this whole trading thing, make sure that you are not putting your story where it's like in a negative situation, or like, I don't even know how to explain it to you guys, but don't let your story affect the way that you look at the charts, or don't let it affect the way that you think, like, I can become a trader or not. Because some people feel like that their situation is like all of them. They feel like that's them, that's their identity. So what I'm trying to say is, create your own identity. Don't let standards hold you back, right? The world has been born, or like, it's been programmed to have standards, right? Everything, like, since birth, right? We had a standard, like, we go to school, we do this, we do that. The teachers tell us what to do, the principal tell us what to do, government says this to our parents or whatever, and we're all supposed to do that, right? So we're programmed a certain way. The moment you step out of line is when you are looked at as an introvert, or you're looked at as somebody weird, or like, because like trading, if you tell that to some people on the streets, they might look at you like, dang, that shit, like, are you crazy? It's risky, or it's not gonna work, or it's a scam, or this and that, right? So you're always gonna be looked at as an outlier, right? But don't let standards, or don't let people come into your life and be like, you can't do it, right? Don't let people think that being an outlier is wrong. So at the end of the day, when you come into this game, make sure that you come in with the heart and the mindset of saying, like, I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna try to become the best I can at the skill that I wanna get better at. So I wanna get better at trading, let me get better at this skill. I'm gonna practice, I'm gonna dribble the ball every day, I'm gonna become better at dribbling the ball every day. And when it is time to take the shot, I have room to take the shot, I have room to have the clarity to become a better trader, right? If you're leaving this room, it's more about, how can I change my mindset now? Like, how can I become a better person now? That's my main goal for this whole room. How can you become a better person right now? Think about how you can become a better person. Like, as we speak right now, just think to yourself, like, all right, what can I do? What can I change in my life to become the best version of myself? What do I have to eliminate out of my life to become the best person of myself? What do I need to add to my life to become the best person of myself? And from there, everything starts to change little by little. You're not gonna see it in the beginning, but long term it's gonna play out. Because I didn't used to talk this way, or like, my mindset was never this way. It was something that was built. It's not something I could just tell you, like, here, this is what you gotta do and you'll understand it. It's something that you have to truly build for yourself so you can fully understand yourself, because we're all different human beings. We can all think in a way of like better for ourselves, but it's gonna be in our own version, right? We're all gonna be separate people, right? So that's what I wanna leave this room with. I'll take another question. No, I already asked one, bro. Stop loss. Bro, I already asked stop loss.
We got one right here.
We got one right here, son.
Pretty much my assistants handle all that. I be wanting to do some crazy shit sometimes. I think my biggest thing is, like, most of my money goes to trying to, like, it's like what I'm building now, I don't want to say it, but what I'm building for next year is pretty much going to take up a lot of funds that I want to put towards it, but I know it's going to be for a greater cause. It's like, I am big on utilizing my money for better causes and value. more than anything, because value is what's going to always impact the world. Like, I definitely would say that I want to see myself on a statue one day.
How do you mitigate like taxes not going forward, like
My accountant. Accountant. Shout out Missy.
yeah, I was more like whatever you make now all that. You have to let the accountant know.
Yeah, my accountant pretty much handles everything.
At what point do you get an accountant?
Whenever you feel like you don't have to pay back taxes. I feel like if you're making like 10K a month, I think that's a solid time to like get an accountant. You should get like a personal assistant and an accountant for sure. It's like what an assistant does is it clears up your time. Like I know like you might think it's like a little bougie or like whatever, but when you get somebody to clear up all your time and they pretty much handle all the small stuff for you, it allows you to have that free time. Because as a trader, right, what you're essentially doing is you're going from like a regular job into full-time trading, and when you're full-time trading, you have more free time now. But if you keep optimizing your free time, so that way you have more hours out the day to be with yourself, think with yourself, because once again, trading is always you versus you. So the more time you sit with yourself and have with yourself, and you don't have to worry about the small things, the more you become better at being yourself or being a better version of yourself, and you get better at the charts regardless, right? So it's really like anything that can free up your time, that's what you should put your money towards. Yeah. Go through something so you can actually understand the benefits of it. You can watch as many videos as you want, you can read as many books as you want, but you're not really going to understand it until you actually go through it. And when you actually experience the pain or experience the happiness or anger or whatever the case might be. And once again, sitting with yourself when you are going through those emotions and understanding, why do you feel that way? Or why is this bothering me? Or why is it affecting me this way? Or why am I looking at this a certain way? Once you feel those emotions, you're able to kind of, grow from that. So it's not really a book that you can read. I would definitely say there's some books out here, but I don't know many. I watch a lot of podcasts or like psychology videos, like the little college seminars and stuff in psychology. I watch a lot of those. And also just thinking with yourself, like, don't over-ask why, but always ask why. Like when you're doing something, like, why am I doing this? And try to dig deep into it. Like everything, like, is done for a reason. You just gotta find that why. Why am I doing it this way? Or why is that person doing it this way? Right? And once you dig into the whys and you dig deep and you're able to like put everything together or even break everything down so it makes sense to yourself, then you start to learn more.
I just want to say thank you because you mean so much to my family and myself personally. And to give something back to you, I know you got the money and I know you got the mindset. I'd love to volunteer to help you out in Atlanta whenever you drive.
Yeah.
So whatever you need, just I'll be there.
It wasn't, yeah. People was commenting that too. I appreciate it. I'm definitely giving back, but it was more of in a sense of like, just people out there to help me hand it out to the people, talk to the people, whatever. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't need any money to give away. It's just like, I was like, if you are like, because once again, this is not like, this is beyond trading. I want you to like, once again, I'm gonna say this again, this is beyond trading. Yes, work on yourself and become a better person, become a better trader, make some money. But once you start making money, you need to bring value to the world. So that was something I wanted to incorporate. Like, all right, if you guys are a part of this movement that I'm creating, it's more of like, all right, we're going to bring value to the world as traders in general, because like, look at the traders that we have in the industry now. Like, these guys are all like doing their best lives, living their best lives, but what about the other people, right? Are we going to give back to them? Are we going to do things for them? And it's not like me bashing anybody, but me personally, I feel like giving back as a trader, something that we know we can make 10K in a week, 20K in a week, freely, right? We can do this now. Like, once we get the skill, we can do this. And it's like kind of like an unlimited ATM, right? If we have an unlimited ATM, why not spread the money around and give it out to other people, right? Not necessarily dollar bills, but values and and things that they can use to benefit their lives, right? So that's what Allen is for, is definitely to talk to the kids, let them know that there is some hope out there. This is the path they should take, and provide them with warm clothes, warm food, stuff like that, just to kind of give them that hope, right? Yeah. No, it doesn't matter. Just use something regulated. Yeah, I would never say like this is the best broker or anything. Just use whatever you want to use.
How you become profitable so fast?
Being hard on myself. The way I was able to be profitable so fast was being hard on myself. I wouldn't recommend it for other people, but I was like the person that was like, all right, if I lose this trade, I don't eat this day. Or yeah, it was. But I used to be very harsh on myself because I felt like I had a limited time. Like I felt like I didn't have much time to make it happen. I definitely thought in a scarcity mindset, which was bad in the beginning. But I guess it came full circle in the end. But I used to be hard on myself because I felt like it was scarcity anyway. Like, yeah. Yeah. Back to what I told that lady, it was like the simpler your car is, the more easy it is to fix things and know what's wrong so you can keep driving. So when it came to this whole trading thing, the more simple I made it, the easier it is to fix the problem if I messed up. So that's why it made it look like, okay, he learned so fast, but it was more of like, the more simple I made it for myself, the easier it was to fix my problems. Because I did have losses, a lot of losses, but I didn't let it affect me because I was like, all right, I could just fix this the next day and don't do it again, right? So it was more of like, I think the most reasons why people go on like 3, 4, 5 years of trading and still not profitable is because they're doing the same mistakes over and over and never learning from them. Because I've definitely seen some people that are trading for like some years, bro, and they still haven't got it because they're still having their moments where they over leverage or they're over trading or they're just changing their strategies up. Stick to one thing, stick to that. When you're sticking to that, when you do something wrong, fix whatever is wrong, keep it simple, fix whatever is wrong, and keep pushing the next day. Stop changing it up, stop adding different things, stop going against your rules, and just keep it simple. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sorry, they're kicking me off.
Okay, so we're going to allow time to take pictures. So we're just going to kind of do it in this area. Security's going to come up. I know. We're just going to do stuff. Before that, though, we're going to do the ICC Mafia part of the video always does. So if everyone can kind of prepare themselves for that.
Saya me, 1, 2, 3, Saya!
Oh, that's good. It's hot, boy. Good. Coming in like. Alright, wait, how are we going to do it? Because everybody in the back. I'm going to just hop up on there and everybody get over here. Stand on that?
Oh, hell no. Don't, no. No, don't do it.
Risk the reward.
Don't, nah.
I'm trading CPI right now.
That's just falling off. Bro.
They got a chair.
Yo, we got a chair.
Oh shit, this shit look crazy.
Yo, we got a chair.
Oh, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. I'm up here. I'm already in the trade, bro. I'm already in. I can't get out now. Let's see the stop loss of TP.
Hey.
Nah, see the stop loss of TP, man.
We don't want that trade to go bearish,
see the
bro.
stop loss. Alright. Yeah. I'm glad I got these big ass boots.
Y'all better hold him.
Alright.
So how do we do it?
Hold on. ICC 03, okay?
Sorry. No, you good, brother. You good, brother.
All right, ICC 03. 1, 2, 3.
ICC! Whoa, whoa. Boy.
Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Once again, just please leave here and just like become the best version of yourselves. And as you're doing that, try to bring value to the world. Like, I'm gonna just say that one last time. Please bring value to the world in some type of way. And just keep everything positive. If you ever seen anything I've built, like this is the most positive community that you probably would ever see in trading in general, right? No negativity. Everybody's trying to help each other out. Bring value to the world. Yeah.
We fucking love you, sir!
Okay, so now it's opportunity for pictures. Please be respectful. It's act like house and sense. The security are going to be up here, so don't try and.
Right.
Bro, one guy in my comments said he was coming here to jump me. I was like, jump me?
He was gonna get jumped.
Bro, see God today.
Right.
Yeah, I was